Abdul Wahab Yahya, who feels seriously dejected, knowing full well that he should have gotten something from this one. Timothy Paul knocking that one down as well. You can see them all fired up, getting themselves ready for victory. Once again, Timothy Paul knocks it down, but this time around he misses it, sets it up. And look at that pass. Musa Usman puts it right there. Really fired up for that one. And these are the closing stages of this one. Abdul Wahab Yahya slam dunking that one. Beautiful one, I must say. Oh, great game of basketball. Look at the way they are just rotating the ball effectively. Abdul Wahab Yahya also sinking another one down there.
It is a killer.
Yeah, still staying courtside. I'm the one in charge this time, not Yemi Adebayo, but it's all good. Femi, let's start with the under-17. We're talking about the under-20 girls World Cup, but also just recently the under-17 FIBA World Cup also got concluded. The Americans once again winning 3 straight times. Now they've been champions at this level.
Champions
again. I mean, that underlines what we were saying just before we took that break, that the big stars are not here, but the young ones are as good.
Yeah, equally as good. Any day, anytime. That's why the Americans are #1 in the male, the female, and in all age categories.
Anything basketball.
You know, because they have a good system. The high school basketball runs well. The college basketball runs well. But let's go to the main beat. These guys, they've won their 3rd trophy. You know, on the tour, they beat Australia, a repeat of the 2012 finals. Too, it was USA Australia, but this time was a little bit more narrow. They won 99-92 in that game, and there was one certain young man, his name Malik Newman. He was the star of the show. He scored 29 points and 11 rebounds, and he helped them to the trophy, you know, at the end of the day. But I like the Australians. They too are working on something, and they've really shown that they can battle, even at the senior level too, especially from the female, you know, angle. They are in the top 3, so it shows that they have a system also working for them, you know. So it's good to see these guys. And the beautiful thing about it is, in the next tournament now, by the under-19s, you still see the same set of guys, you know, going to the Olympics. You see 2 or 3 of them join up with the big stars, and that's the way it has all, you know, moved up for the Americans. But it's good to see that that they still continue to win, because they have the best programs available. But of course, not ruling out the Australian team and of course some other team. But a little bit of spice I want to add to this is that there were 7 Nigerians in this tournament.
Nigerian-born players.
Nigerian-born players. There was a Nigerian player playing for Japan.
Oh.
I was surprised.
It shows we have a lot to do.
Yeah.
To keep our best players here, young at any level. Keep
players in Japan, in Spain, in Puerto Rico, in Canada, in the US, all over, in France, in Italy. I was surprised when I saw those boys. You know, yeah, these are boys that can play under 17 for us here. You know, in this country.
And the guys that I talked about, the guys we spoke about.
Yes, yeah. These are the top 5 players, you know, of the tournament. And the big guy there is Diamond Stone, the USA in number 15. We also have Dejan Visevic of Australia, Malik Newman, the most valuable player. That's the shortest guy, you know, in between there, the USA boy. We have Nikola Rakicevic, you know, of Serbia, and also Isaac Humphries. He was the highest point scorer in a game. He scored 49 points, you know, in the semi-finals. That guy his future is bright, and he's been touted as one of the, you know, foreign imports that will be coming into the NBA in recent.
And I also think we need to write down the name of these guys. They might just be dominating, especially the guys from the United States, because, like Femi has said, they will progress through the ranks, and before you know, they start playing for these top clubs in the NBA. And I mean, it's always going to be tough for any country with the program that the United States have to really take them off being the best basketball playing nation in the world.
All right, let's use this one as our last beat on Sports Tonight, the FIBA World Cup. We spoke extensively to Sonny about it from the American perspective, but let's talk about the African perspective. Nigeria is not going to be part of it, interestingly, because we didn't qualify from the Afro Basketball Championship. Yes. But Femi, take us through. Who are the teams? Which teams are representing Africa, and how good are their chances of going there and doing well enough for Africa to get more slots?
The top 3 teams, you know, during the AfroBasket, champions Angola, runners-up Egypt, and Senegal, who defeated us in the quarterfinals, are the 3 teams there. But fortunately for the Angolan team, not good news coming out from the camp, because the most valuable player during the AfroBasket, Carlos Moraes, is suffering from a niggling injury. So
it's not going to be part of it.
Part of it.
That's a major blow.
Even during the African Club Championship, he was the most valuable player. where we have Kano Pillars and Union Bank take part. So it's going to be a very big blow for them, massive blow. And also have Ambrosio Felizondo too, also going to be missing, from the Angolan squad. So it has really knocked them off. The Egyptians too are also, worried about one player, Asim. He was one of their most valuable players during, their fairy tale run in the AfroBasket. They hope and you'll get, fit at the end of the day. But well, let's see how it goes. The Senegalese are preparing fine and well. They played, a friendly game last week against the Spanish team. They didn't win that game, but you could see a lot of prospect in that team. I think for me, they are my pick to do best. Considering the kind of group they are in, and of course the kind of preparation they've put in. And they also have a couple of NBA players. Johnny Dieng of Minnesota. Timber was joining there, and Ndoye, who moved to Spain recently to Granada. He's also the captain of the squad, and he's been joining his boys. So the Senegalese look like the better side of the three of them.
Since Angola will not be there with the main man.
With the main man, and if you look at even the age average of the Angolan team, it's a bit on the outside. So they might not do too well. But let's see how it goes at the end of the day. 4 teams will qualify from each group of 6. 6 teams are in each
Africa
group.
should get to the next one.
So I think at least 2 African teams should be able to get out. But my pick, Senegal first, maybe Egypt. Perhaps Angola's experience will come to the fore at the end of the day. Time will tell, but it's really not looking that bleak, for African teams in the tournament, at the end of the day.
All right, thank you so much, Femi. So in 8 days, that's a week and 1 more day. So we'll still have time to preview the FIBA World Cup on Sports Tonight next week. But before we wrap up the show, let me just read a few comments on Twitter. I'm particularly interested in this one that comes from Telema Davies, a very good friend of the house, and is, taking us up on the question that we posed to Sonny Young on areas of collaboration between United States of America and Africa in sports. And he says, why should sports always take the back seat when issues are being discussed? That sports is a unifier, and so sports should also always be on the front burner when issues of collaboration are raised. The Americans have a lot of African-born players who have won medals for them.
Sports has been an outlet, sports and entertainment, and those are things. If you really want to help Africa, you can't help us in those areas. Think of taking people off the streets. Think of the transforming power of these 2 sectors we've talked about, entertainment and sport. But we're more concerned about sports, and it doesn't really cost much to do all of this. It's just about putting the infrastructure in place. They are better organized there. Maybe our administrators can learn 1 or 2 things from them, and with their help, it could be a springboard for us to get things done. And we've seen, Olumide was here last week, we've seen that you could take people from here with little or no support, and they'll get out there and really make something for themselves. So that support will really come in handy.
Okay, Fergie says the Nigeria Football Federation should sort things out very quickly with Stephen Keshi. Keshi has done well. Let's sort out our issues with him so that he can continue his good job. That's on Twitter. And then Oluwa Medamilola, that's a long one, says definitely the Falconers will overcome the Germans this time around. That's what it says. The Falconers are simply great. Hope they bring back the cup. That's coming from Bulgari. He says he's sure that the girls will do us well. And it says in a country that worships football, basketball actually gets more crowd at the stadiums. And then it says the MPL must be doing something wrong. Is it referring to Nigerian football or America? I don't really understand. That's coming from Bulgari, speaking about crowds and coming to work games.
Here because we've always talked about the attendance at stadiums. It can't be compared with some of, if you go to watch basketball, especially the SCB Premier Basketball League, most times it's almost packed full. But you go to the stadium, what you see, even when you're looking at it on TV, it's not encouraging.
At Longeri says, why do we always like putting ourselves in trouble? And then at Dozios, he's talking about the NFF elections and the Electoral Committee. And Dozios says we should mention the name of the minister's head that is involved so that it will stop causing discord in football. Let's keep the name for now. Let's hope that things change.
Exactly.
Yeah, but these are allegations anyway,
yes,
and we need to clarify. These are allegations. It's a pity we couldn't get Amoni Biambo, the chairman of the Electoral Committee, to defend his side, but these are allegations that are mere allegations until they are proven
they are not profounded,
by those who are raising such allegations. I think it's time for us to wrap up Sports Tonight this Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Let's leave it with these guys. and then wrap up the show on that note. Enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of the night. Bye-bye now.